Good day. Now it's time to introduce another special guest. This guest is quite unique as well. Looking forward to this one. I'm just going to get straight into it now. We are introducing Demigod Nzambi to my show. Well, that's one name and a half, isn't it? Welcome to my show. How are we doing? Good day.
Good, good. How you doing?
Yeah, cool. It's great to have you on. I hear so much about you because you are in a band called Miruthan. Is that right?
Yep, that's it. Yep, Miruthan.
And would you say your band's quite mysterious and gothic in places?
Oh, definitely, definitely. We
Nice.
um we all wear the gear when our faces are never revealed, and yeah, we black and death metal is kind of what we do, and yeah, we love it.
And is it nice to have a mystery to the band as well?
Yeah, it's been super fun. We kind of we'd planned that out really from the start to do, and then the crowd are just like they're loving it. They're really getting into it. We push this whole kind of cult thing, just a tongue-in-cheek kind of cult, like a cult following kind of thing, and our
Mm.
crowds are just eating it up. They're loving it.
So you got like your own niche, your own following.
Yeah, totally,
Yeah,
totally.
that's all you need, really, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why we do it. We don't want to play gigs to 10 people. We don't want to play it to 10,000, and we're not there yet, but we're you know we're getting every
Yeah,
show is getting bigger and bigger.
yeah, that's good. Work in progress. I'm going to ask you, where are you based? Well, I know this. You're from Newcastle, but not Newcastle, UK, Newcastle, NSW. Is that right?
That's right. Yep, yep. Yeah, so a few
Cool.
few more Ks than you thought away from you.
Yeah, you're not too far from Toronto as well. Not Canada, though.
That Nah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
Cool.
there is a Toronto not far.
You're not too far from Sydney as well. What's the whole gigging scene like in Sydney?
Look, Sydney's very up and down. It is quite good though. Sometimes it's hard to get numbers there. Then your next gig will be packed out, and
Mm,
if there's more than kind of one or two metal shows on it, you do feel the impact,
yeah.
and the shows are fairly quiet. You know,
Mm.
that crowd's kind of split, but no, it's really good. It's thriving at the moment as well with metal stuff, so it's kind of getting better and better.
That's nice to hear. Do you have to travel far to gigs as well? I know Australia, a massive country, a continent even. Do you have to like travel far to certain venues?
Yeah, our look, we have our own tour van, and we kind of have to have our own tour van. It's there's so Sydney's about 2 hours from us, and then we'll do Brisbane, Melbourne. So Brisbane's about 10 hours drive for us. So we'll drive to do the gigs there, and there's not a whole lot of stuff in between. Like there is a few little things in between,
Mm,
but generally like they're your kind of major cities. So traveling between them is kind of it. We are trying to hit the rural areas in between as well as much as we can.
mm,
But the numbers of people in those towns are much smaller.
mm.
So yeah, even so you got Melbourne's about 10 hours as well, I think. And then Perth is a 6 hour flight from us. So the other side of the country, it's huge
Mm.
between every gig.
I bet you've seen some breathtaking sights along the way though on your tour bus.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. You kind of, especially going up to Queensland, you can pick either the coast road or the inland road. Inland road is more what I prefer, and that's good for us to get kind of photo shoots done
Mm,
and stuff like that. There's all rocky kind of areas and stuff like that. So that's really good.
mm.
But then yeah, your other way is right up that coast road, and there's just surfing beaches all the way.
Nice. And Mareefan as well. How did you come up with that band's name?
Okay, so when we're kind of putting the band runs on like a folklore, so we've written our own folklore, and we kind of run by that. Our songs are all written to that folklore and extending on that folklore. Um, So when we were coming up with the folklore, we came up with the folklore pretty well as the first song was being written. So it was as important to us as the music. Um, yeah, so when we were kind of looking into the folklore, we the idea, the premise behind the band is it's survivalists. We've survived the apocalypse, and there's all this stuff being thrown at us, and we're building this cult of followers that we're gonna save, and so that's kind of the premise to it. So the idea was we have traveled around Earth, all of it. So we've kind of grabbed little traditional things from all around the world, and this is from a Tamil language. So it actually means walking corpse. So it's kind of we are based around. It's not fully based around zombies, but the folklore. But there is some kind of zombie content in there, and yeah, that's kind of the meaning to the name in Tamil.
Sure. You got a new P, so you got a new EP out. It's got four tracks called "Survive the Blast," number
Yeah.
one. Then "At the Barricades," that's track two. I think you're concentrating on "Into the Abyss." That's your new single as well. Is that one of your most standout tracks, "Into the Abyss"?
So that was actually the last to be released. So At the Barricades is the single off of that.
Yeah.
And then we did a film clip for Land of the Damned. So Into the Abyss, that kind of hadn't had much light on it. So that was the latest thing. We did a lyrics video for that one and released that and just wanted a bit more light on that song as
Hmm.
well.
Cool. And I know you like adventuring into the woods, the woodlands as well. Have you done any like shots there, like music videos at all?
Yeah, so our music video, I don't know if you've seen Land of the Damned music video, but that was in there's like an old mining ruins that's probably about an hour from us. And yeah, so we shot our film clip there and there's like a big what would it be? It's not a lake or anything. It's a massive dam, I guess you would call it. Um what they would have used for the mining, for the water for the mining. And yeah, there's this old ruins there from about the 1900s. Um, and I'd say about 1940 it was left, and it's still there. It's pretty tattered up these days, but that's perfect for our film clip. So we ventured in there, took some four-wheel drives in, and took all our gear in and filmed our film clip.
That's so
Yeah, so it was good.
cool. So abandoned places, they play quite a pivotal role in your music videos, some might say.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of fits down the narrative that we're doing. We've got the next couple planned out. Obviously, time and money are one thing when your band's not kind of touring the world and stuff like that.
Mm.
We've got plans and the next kind of one's written as well. So yeah, but we'll keep with that kind of theme, I think.
That's good. You mentioned like you tour in Australia. Does your music reach further afield?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of love around the world actually, which is really nice. Um, the idea of this band was never just to be a local band. We decided we wanted to go quite big with this and get it around the
Mm.
world. Um, and there is some future stuff coming up that we kind of can't say at the moment. We've got an NDA, but there is some good stuff happening in the future that will see us doing some other stuff.
That's good. Just looking at some of your gig dates, you've had quite a successful run. Um, Various gigs in April and May
Yeah,
coming up as well. You're in Brisbane, and Melbourne and Sunbury as well. People
yeah,
can follow you on like Facebook and Instagram as well, just to keep up to
yeah,
date with you.
yeah. Generally under Miruthan band for
Cool.
both of those. Yeah,
Well, we'll put that link in the description of this interview. I'll give you a little follow myself.
Yeah,
And that's brilliant. Yeah, people can actually get physical copies of your EP. Is that right?
not at the moment. They will do. We went digital, just digital for this one, just to kind of gauge the interest. I've been in other bands, and I've still got other bands as
Mm,
well, and like it just depends on your kind of outfit. And
mm,
um, those bands sold very few physical copies
mm.
and did well on the digital stuff. So I was like, oh, let's give it a go, just digital. And people are screaming out for the full copies, the actual tangible
Yeah.
copies. So it is
Mm,
something we're going to do very soon. We had to kind of see whether we'd just be carrying, 1,000 CDs with us and people look at it and going, cool, I'll download that. But
mm,
they really, really want it. So we are gonna do the pressing very
yeah.
soon.
It's in the pipeline, isn't it? Just got to understand that, understandably, like the cost as well, putting the product together, you're going to
Yeah.
make your overheads as well. Maybe do like a
Yeah.
limited edition, like signed, that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's something we talked about. We'd love to do vinyl. Vinyl's really expensive to do in Australia. I think it's expensive anywhere, but it's especially expensive here in Australia. So
Do you know why vinyl's so expensive than how it used to be? Is it because of the type of make it is? Because it's just vinyl, like the
yeah,
plastic.
so there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can press it or you can cut it. So there's a cutting plant not far from us, um, but they can be up to 100 Australian dollars
Mm,
per copy for us to buy.
yeah.
And then pressing's cheaper where they press it into the vinyl, but you've kind of got to order so many for the cost to come down.
Mm,
And really, we need to order kind of 3,000. And, they're still probably going to be $40 each or
yeah.
$30 each Australian. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of money to put up.
Yeah. You got to be feasible, haven't you? So streaming really is keeping up to date, really. The 2020s, like for now. That's where it's gone, really. Mm,
Yeah, that's right. And I didn't think like it, as I say, I didn't think it would be as big for the physical products, but it really is. We're getting a message, like messages every day from
mm,
people just like, where do I get it? Where do I get it?
mm.
So, which we gauge our interest, the interest off of that, obviously, but yeah, it's exceeded our expectations
Mm.
tenfold. So
When you look at the numbers of people who listen to the tracks, is it quite interesting what tracks kind of fare better in the listening numbers than others?
yeah, yeah, it does actually. We released a single at the Barricades, and all the band members sat down, and we had the four songs finished. Um, they lay out in story form. So whereas a normal band can kind of, let's put that song as track one because it's really good, and then this song is track two because it's not quite as strong. Ours are in story form, so it really needs to follow the way it's laid out. But we all sat down and were like, all right, well, what do we think is going to be the single, and why do we think that? It's an eight-piece band, so yeah, we all sat down and picked at the Barricades, and but it seems Survive the Blast is getting the blast. It seems to be the one that people are
Mm,
gravitating to, so
yeah.
that's
If you
really
had
cool.
Sure, if you had to choose out the four tracks a song to be played on the radio, what would be your personal preference?
Personal would still be at the Barricades. I think it really shows what we can do. Um, and it just has some great dynamics to it. Survival the Blast does too. So yeah, I'd be happy with either.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that actually. We'll play at the Blast. Sorry, not
Yep.
that at the.
Survive the
Is
Blast. Yep.
yeah, is it at the Barricades?
What's that? Sorry.
Yeah, was the song at the Barricades you'd like played?
Yeah, I'm happy with either. But yeah,
Okay,
let's go at the
yeah,
Barricades.
sure. We'll go with at the Barricades and play that now on my radio show. Thanks for joining me today, Demigod Nzambi from Miruthan.
Thank you. Thanks heaps for your time too.
You're welcome.